work across the park, along a busy stretch of a south side city street, olive-skinned bodies lie strewn about basking in the cesspool that is August in Chicago. Limbs hang out from 3- and 4-story apartment windows. Front steps precariously hold on to torsos glistening with sweat and bad intention. The world is muted. Cemeteries aren't this quiet. A car honks. I don't notice it at first. What catches my attention is the extra heat given out by this monstrosity of a 2006 H3. This behemoth of a vehicle bellows like a beached whale or a fat girl at the end of a buffet line. Inside the belly of this rolling beast, 6 or 7 shaven-headed gangsters are talking to me in sign language. A slurred puto came out sounding more like a deaf child said it rather than a fully grown man. I walk on. I walk on thinking I might want to end a man's life. Tonight, when I get home. I think it might be easy. Easy as opening a book, a notebook, a pen. I never used to be like this. I was calm, docile, an optimist. Now the only time the optimist rears his head is when I'm drowning in a feral cat in a half-full bathtub. I changed when I started laughing at Dad, with Eric. Eric is a guy I know from work. We would talk about punk rock and pornography. He used to sell treadmills to women whose legs looked like a bunch of plastic bags stuffed in 2 huge plastic bags. He dated a girl who is now some fire-breathing lesbian. It's not his fault. She thought he was one too. Shame what she doesn't know. We became friends, the kind that end up always in touch. Greeting card epilogue. He would loan me books and girlfriends. Only he would make me sign out the girls and expect a nickel for every day after their agreed upon return date. I think I owe him 35 cents. He'll never get it. He's got this emo kid look that goes away the second he starts talking. We agreed to meet for drinks one night after work. About 4 in, he starts talking about this website where people are smothered in feces. Scat, I guess it's called. And the whole time he's not moving, not blinking, like he was seeing it happen right there in front of him. Like he could smell the orange-brown residue that these people are covered with. Then he blinks in Morse code and starts laughing and talking about a fight between 2 fans, father and son, and the first base coach during a Chicago White Sox Kansas City Royals game a few seasons back. My stomach knotted. I could taste the disgust rising from my gut. I wanted to throw up, but I didn't want to make a bad first impression. He would see something, somebody, and like a gag reflex, out came some horrible tale, like the one involving a boy, a girl, a storm, her crotch, and a shoebox full of maggots. Bile filled the space between my eyes and my eyeballs, and my eyelids. My vision went from a field of different colors to acid reflux yellow. I could feel myself swoon like a midday alcoholic. I fucking hated him, but I got used to him. Used to his stories of ass-reaming post-op genitalia of both genders, 9-inch nails, Asian pissing videos, sex with epileptics. Hold on, he would say, and his dog back home, of which he has a picture on his cell phone. Do you still have that, Eric? Awesome. That's Eric.
Jesus Christ. You're really fucked up, man.
Eventually, all of our conversations started with or ended with some kind of shit talk. Literally, shit talk. Color, shape, girth, circumference, breakage, before and after flush if applicable, nuttiness, solidity, everything he talked about involved shit somehow. It was disturbing, but it became routine, like wiping. The big change came about 2 weeks after he noticed his neighbors watching him from their apartment while he played video games on the buff. He became an exhibitionist. Yeah, that's Eric. Sort of. He knew when they were watching. He said they were like a pair of pigeons who would one day tell their chick babies about the crazy things that this crazy human did, what the birds could say of our history. He put a chia pet in the window closest to theirs. He took it out of the box, spread the seeds, watered it, watched it grow. With proper pruning over the next 4 to 6 weeks, the green mossy pet grew into the shape of an obscenely proportioned penis. He called it a dick. I'm on a plane flying back from a short but well-deserved vacation, and a woman with skin like a used condom left in the sun is showing me pictures of her 19 grandchildren. I'm hungover and my head is crammed with visions of the stripper I was with after last night's bachelor party. My eyes are closed. Back at my hotel room, I yelled into her cavernous vagina. She laughed and we had sex. Her skin sticky from whipped cream and body shots. And I've got this troll of a travel companion salivating words of adoration about her 19 glorious grandchildren. I imagine Sylvester saying, "Fuck Tweety. I'm doing in granny with a rolling pin." Through my memory and her photos, my hazy recollection and my hangover, I suddenly see myself having sex with one of her granddaughters. Don't worry, this old word is about 80. It's not that unlikely. Precious Samantha, she just graduated from the University of Colorado, she says. She's going to be a writer. In my head, I'm masturbating onto all the books she'll never write. She just turned 23 last week. I flew out to Denver to see her, she says. We had a whole big party planned, you know. I'm sitting with my head against the rest, pulsing in my 501s, thinking about what I would do to this darling grandchild, my eyes still closed. She didn't even come to her own party, Granny says. Said she was too tired from graduating and all. I'm so proud of her. She paid for college all by herself. Poor thing must have been exhausted after all that. I can't say I'm not disappointed, though. I mean, I don't know how many chances I have left to see her. I am getting on in years. I can hear the faint sound of a sob. She's my oldest granddaughter. She's my angel. The plane starts to bank to the left as we begin our descent into Midway. The sun rages in through the window, mostly reflected off my wing. My little fantasy is suddenly whitewashed. I close the window shade, hoping to recapture my imagined den of iniquity. But it's too late. It won't come back. I'm at work and my boss is asking about where I grew up. So I tell him. Where about exactly, he says. So I tell him. Get out, I lived in that neighborhood. What's the address? And I tell him. I know that house. So I ask him about his address. And he tells me. Do you know the place? And I tell him. I lost my virginity there. Which one is your room? Eric's chia dig is quite impressive. From a gardening point of view. His neighbors moved 2 days after they heard noises coming from his window. Moaning, guttural, male noises. They didn't see anything, but they heard it. It was about 4:30 in the afternoon and the chia monster is missing. So they watch and wait. The husband, a boyfriend, walks away briefly leaving his girlfriend or wife, only to return with 2 glasses of Arbor Mist Sangria flavored wine. And the window sighs, and the window moans, it breathes. The wind blushes with embarrassment at having to carry these sounds. And the neighbors are intrigued and a little turned on, she says in his ear, and they start to fool around. But the window is watching them. The windows have eyes too. They're watching. The neighbors are watching from the corners of their eyes as they undress, anticipating what, they don't know. And they like it. They pull a $1,500 postmodern dining room table they bought from IKEA closer to their window. But the other window knows this. And the neighbors are humping, listening to the moaning window. Faster and faster, but now looking at each other, looking at the window. And the window stops. The window stops long enough so they stop. But the window knows this. The window focuses and lets out a grunting kind of sigh. Then a lip-biting oomph. And the couple starts masturbating each other under their windowsill. And the window knows this. And the window strains with the sounds of intensity, of freedom, of holy fucking immaculate whatever. And the neighbors start on the table again, ever watching, bucking like mechanical bulls at some seedy western bar. And then the window stops again, but they keep going, not stopping. And the window likes this because lady neighbor is hot, and now she's having the best sex she's ever had, and it's all because of the window.